Good morning and welcome to day 31 of Vlogtober. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween. My name is Tracy and I am the podcaster of The Comfy Red Couch, and today is the final day of Vlogtober, and it's one of those mixed emotions things where tomorrow it will be nice to have a no vlogber, if that's what I want to call it, and we'll free up a little bit of time each day, and I won't have to be thinking about what I'm going to share with you today, whether it's ducks, swans, low tide, this amazing house we're in, how I'm feeling, whatever. So I'll have to sort of get through the next month on my own, but we do have the Vlogmas coming up, so I am looking forward to maybe doing Vlogmas this year. And today I am dressed in my haunted mansion dress, and it's got a fun little crinoline underneath, and I've got my fun matching shoes because it's Halloween. Why not? And I have the mug to match. Why wouldn't I have the dress too? Anyway, we are about to head out, and then when I get back, we'll have a chat. So happy Halloween, and we will catch up a little bit later today. I do see my pretty swans over there. So before we go out, I just thought I would share some swan action. We had been a little bit worried the other day because we saw the one swan, but not the second, and we had thought that maybe she had been lost. Thankfully, she is here, and they are both coming for some popcorn. Nathaniel, you want to grab the popcorn? And we'll let Nathaniel do a little bit of feeding. Here is Nathaniel. He's got the new popcorn bin, and of course, pop and corn. Do you enjoy this, Nathaniel?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about living on the float home?
Feeding the swans.
Feeding the swans? Here, there's a couple pieces that fell on the ground. Maybe you want to put them over the edge before they try and peck through the fencing. Feeding the swans is pretty amazing, I'd say. And there they are. The stars of Tracy's Vlogtober. Nothing to do with the trip across Canada, nothing to do with the new house. It's all about the swans. And rightfully so, as they hiss at us. It is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have just gotten back. I'm going to sit and have a cup of tea in a moment, but I wanted to share with you something that we did yesterday and that kind of makes me feel a little bit more secure and a little bit happy. Is we put the fencing that we have on the front deck up along the side. The previous owners had put this in their closet, but because they kept their boat here, it was a natural barrier. But as we were walking and getting used to things, I was always afraid I was going to be carrying something and drop something and have it go kerplop into the water, because that's Murphy's Law, you know, when hands are full, you know, or, you know, maybe Scout would tug and in the water went Tracy. That would not be fun for me. So we've put this up for now, and it just pops into the bottom. There's a clip right here and several little spots where it clips in, and then a second join where these are connected, and then it goes right to the end where there is another one of those hook and eye type of things. But definitely makes me feel a little bit more secure as we continue to live on the float house. It is Sunday. The sheets are in the wash. That is my normal Sunday routine, and starting to slowly feel a little bit more like a normal bit of life is coming in. We still got a little bit to go, Lots of unpacking still to do, but just doing the little things and definitely getting this fence up is a start. I am going to make a cup of tea and then we're going to have a nice sit out on the porch, the water porch. I have no idea what to name it, and have a chat there. Again, happy Halloween, happy day 31 of Vlogtober. I match my mug. Yes, this is the greatest dress, so. Haunted Mansion wallpaper dress with a bright green crinoline underneath, and my lovely Haunted Mansion mug filled with my first cup of tea for the day. It is 4 o'clock and I'm just getting my first cup of tea. That's okay. Canadian geese flying behind. I think that's a nice way to wrap up Vlogtober. They fly apparently from the prairies to Vancouver because it is so nice. This morning when I woke up, it was -1 and there was frost on the ground. That was a little bit of a shock to the system, especially since it was such a beautiful day yesterday. But then again, when we went into Winnipeg, it was 25 degrees. They were breaking records, and then the next morning it was like winter hit. It was insanity. It is nice to just sit, take a few breaths. There's a guy just fishing over behind me there. We're in the flight path again. The loud planes fly overhead. I don't mind that so much. Sun shines right in my eyes, and I definitely don't mind that too much either. I would like to start off by saying thank you so much for joining me through Vlogtober this month. This has been an October unlike any other that I have experienced. Moving in the fall is chaotic, especially when trying to start Nathaniel up with school. We had the house up for sale at the very beginning of the school year, and Nathaniel missed the first couple of weeks. He has had a really fantastic start to grade 7, I'm really happy to say. So at the previous school, when he started, just jumped right in and was so happy. I was a little bit nervous because he had such a great start, and we were basically ripping him out of that to drive 4,400 kilometers and to start all again. And for the most part, he's pretty great about it. He has his moments where he says, I want to go back to Toronto, but you know what? So do I. Today, I was going to say this afternoon, today, they're both the same thing. We went to a Loblaws grocery store on a street called, I wanted to call it Arbutus, and somebody corrected me, it's Arbutus, something like that. But it was a Loblaws. It was a lot closer to the grocery store that we would have shopped at home. Here they have something called the Real Canadian Superstore, and it's a Loblaws branch off. It's one of the subsidiaries, and but it's just so big that we went there the other day. They had the brands that I wanted for the most part, but the bright lights and the bigness of it made me feel really uncomfortable. And then we went grocery shopping in Walmart, and you know, I didn't have the brands that I liked. But today, nice cozy store. It was small, and I was able to get things like the vinegars and the little products that I like to have in the pantry. I got some chicken broth and some vegetable broth, just the base, the Bovrils. You can get those ones pretty much anywhere, but I had forgotten to get those. And Nathaniel was happy he got his sushi. And but I felt a lot more comfortable. We had to do a little bit of a drive to get there, but it did make me happy. It's crazy, the things that make us happy. Just being able to have that little bit of connection to what you're used to. after such a big move. At this moment, it is worth the drive to Arbutus so that I can maybe get a few of the things that I was used to. They also had, oh, it's so good. If you're in Canada and you have an opportunity to get the keg horseradish, if you like using horseradish, the keg horseradish, it is hot, but it is amazing. And I did find some there today. I always thought it was only available in Metro grocery stores. And that's again Toronto, Quebec thing. But the keg horseradish, if you like clear out your nose horseradish, that one will definitely do it. Anyway, it has been an adventure this month, and again, thank you so much for joining me as we have packed up our previous house, driven across the country, and started because we're so far from being completed, started to unpack this house and get it set up. And there's still a lot to do. So what I am hoping, crossing fingers, is that over the next month I will be able to get some things in place. I am going to be trying my best to do as much of the knit vent test knits as I can, but I also have to learn to be a little bit more forgiving of myself and realize that this year life has thrown me a curveball, and where I would love to meet all the deadlines for knit vent, it's likely that, I might meet a couple of them, but I may not meet them all. But I am looking forward to getting back to a regular schedule. I did talk about the sheets were in on Sunday, and that's a normal thing for us, and getting that back felt good. I am going to start podcasting again just after the first knit vent release, and I haven't talked about this aspect of the move yet. So in Toronto, I did have a full-time job, and on the podcast back in the late winter last year, early winter this year, I was talking about the fact that I had a leave, self-funded leave that I was supposed to take this year, and I had deferred it. And so what has actually happened since that original deferral is that it has been rescinded. I am on a leave of absence this year, so kind of a nice thing, and then I'll make decisions after that on what happens work-wise. But I'm off this year, and because I'm off, and I'll likely have the house to myself during the weekdays, and things will be a little bit busier around here on weekends, I will now move to podcasting on likely a Thursday or a Friday and uploading then. And it'll be nice to get back to my regular podcast schedule, but on a different day. So a weekly podcast. And if you are into knitting and you've enjoyed the comfy red couch Vlogtober, I see swans, maybe you'll continue to join me. If not, that's okay too. I hope that you have enjoyed this month's Vlogtober and our trip across the country. I've really enjoyed sharing it with you, and I am thinking I will do Vlogmas this year since I'm not going to be working outside of the home. I'm going to be trying to do lots of things in and around the home, and this year maybe I'll actually have a little bit more energy for Christmas, especially once I get all of that unpacked. I'm trying to determine whether the swans, they are in the distance, and I'm trying to determine whether they are coming towards us or away from us. But I've enjoyed sharing pop and corn with you, and I hope that you've enjoyed the month as well. Have a wonderful November, and hopefully I will see you soon. And in the meantime, here come pop and corn. We gotta throw some of them in at the end, don't we? Popcorn, always a great thing. We have all now been taken in by the swans. Does that make you happy, Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the swans like Scout, but Scout seems to be very interested in the swans.
Hold your mouth open. Hold it open. Hold it open.
Craig is trying to train the swans, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to drop it directly in.
That's maybe not the best idea.
That's all they get.
That's all they get. That's enough.
It's a treat, that's all.
It is true. What do you think of them, Scout?
They hiss it.
Yeah, as soon as Scout begins to give them popcorn, they'll stop. But until then, hello, popcorn.
No, the names are Pop and Corn.
Pop and corn. That's what they're called. Pop and corn. I don't know which one's which.
Nathaniel said they don't fly, but they certainly do.
Oh, they do. And they make a real ruckus when they do.